can't believe Squid saw Mama Chew on the sidewalk. Mind you, I was just playing The Sims. You think they smelled that?
How's it going today, guys? In the Chew Chronicles, the Chew Cruiser's wheels are turning, but man, there's not a soul home, besides maybe the homeless man who broke in their car, because yes, some dude actually broke into Tophiachu's car a couple days ago. They were out at the library, and when they came back, they just found the dude in there. Ate all of Mama Chew's Vienna sausages. How could he? The woman can barely get to a bathroom, the sidewalks are her main place to go, and she can't even have Vienna sausages anymore. What is this world came to? And by the looks of it, it seems like their car won't be theirs much longer, because the wheel was chosen with one of the cars stolen and the last one almost stolen with this dude just bunking up in there. It's looking like the legendary wheel was about to change hands. If this trend keeps up and that happens, it's off to the Papa Chew lifestyle for the rest of the Chew crew. And that'd be a real shame, because where Tophia is spending so much time behind the wheel, she's gaining a new passion. She wants to be a drift racer now, of all things, and that might be a viable career. I know you was laughing at it at first, but let's think about it a little bit. The title of Drift King has been hung in the rafters, but a Drift Queen? I don't know, we might have some potential here, especially when she's the only racer with a special attack. After a few laps and the sweat starts rolling in, Tophia can just roll down the windows and clear the competition. Everyone's gonna be out of there, nobody in sight, not a racer, not a fan, but there'll be one winner, and that'll be Tophiachu. The amount of pink slips under her belt, it wouldn't matter how many of the Chumobiles got nabbed. She can just go get another. And that's not all, everybody. Besides Tophia admitting that there was roaches in her house, she's also fuming that people would have the audacity to claim her new t-shirt designs are stolen. And even if they're not, they're the most obvious cash grabs I've ever seen. And Tophia even admits it herself.
But I watched this live stream that was on right now of this guy. And the kids that they exposed that were gifting Ashley Trevino, one of them was live saying that if they received the galaxy, they were going to show their... Let me tell you something about all those kids. They're trolling. They're trolling. Do not give them any attention, because you exposing them, they think that's giving them attention. That's why they're saying what they say. They're doing what they do, because they're getting attention. So the best thing to do is to just block, report, and if you should get a hold of their parents, I think that's the best thing to do, is just reach out to their parents. Making videos, I know people want to bring awareness to it, but it's only causing them to do it more because they think it's giving them attention. See, and then that's why she was giggling, because she knows that the people that are giving the negative energy towards it, like don't even support this, don't even this, she knows that it's giving them some sort of attention. These kids know that. They go on live streams to troll people, because I've seen kids that'll hop up in the box to troll someone and they said, go to bed, like get off the live, and they'll like kick them out, because a lot of minors go on lives to troll because they know they're not allowed to be in lives. So let's talk about this person that's crashing out in my DMs, because they said, because I had posted merch, right, and they were like, these designs are stolen. So then I had told them, I said like, it's Canva. Anybody can use those designs. Like, they're not copyrighted, and other people are going to use the same designs. They're not stolen. They're not copyrighted. Anybody has a right to use those designs, right? That's what I literally said. Like, people have a right to use them because they're free to use. Like, Canva has non-copyrighted designs. That's why you're going to see the same designs that I use. Someone else used them. But I changed them to make them different. But I can still use them. Even if I didn't change them, I can still use them. I'm going to let you think whatever you want. You crashing out in DMs because I educated you. Imagine crashing out at me over some t-shirt designs because I told you, like, anybody could use them, and you're like, they sent me the photo or whatever, a meme of like 50 Cent throwing up fingers saying, I don't care, I don't give a F, basically. And I said, you cared enough to respond to me in a DM about my design saying they were stolen. I'm laughing my ass off at these people not comprehending shit. And that other design, I saved it because I liked it. It was pretty cool. I found the design because I was looking like graffiti or something like that for the Notorious B.I.G. And that one came up just like that, so I just saved it. Like, and I was confused at first because, you know, sometimes I edit the photos or whatever, saying they're basic. Who gives a what background would I add behind the candy hearts that isn't going to not mesh with it? Because that's fucking stupid. Like, for you to tell me they're basic, okay, I don't give a you know. My other more better t-shirt designs are gonna be put on like social media.
I find it so funny that Tophiachu can recognize that these teenagers who probably aren't the brightest, you know, they think they can just say outlandish stuff and gain clout off Ashley Trevino of all people. And Tophiachu can say, okay, look guys, don't give them attention because that's all they want. They're just trolls. Can't you recognize that? But in the same stream, she can be like, hey, don't you talk about that. Of course I'm living in a car. What do you expect me to get a house all of a sudden? I've told you guys countless times that I'm not going to do that. What are these people thinking? It's like, oh yeah, no duh, Tophiachu, because they're just trying to get under your skin. You know, you're a mildly boring person. You know, I don't agree with the whole yapping thing because I don't know what else you're supposed to be doing on live stream besides talking. But when it comes to Tophiachu, it's like you don't really have nothing interesting to say. Even though you would be living an interesting life, you don't interact with it at all. Like, nothing you do is entertaining to people except your rages because you have a family full of crazy people. So people know they can just get online when they see you live and just mess with you a little bit and you're gonna rage out for hours, and we all know it's absolutely hilarious. That's why I cover it and that's why you guys watch it. It's some of the best stuff on the internet right now. I mean, just look at the way she's reacting because someone said, hey, your t-shirt designs are stolen. Just one person. She brings it up on her live streams. This should be the place where you dictate what goes on. You should be in control of this, but she allows the trolls to just take full grasp of it and run with every single thing. I mean, you guys should see these t-shirt designs. I'm not going to say they're stolen because they're probably not. It looks like a bunch of copyright free stuff that Canva allows people to use, just anybody. The real question should be not is it stolen, but who the heck is going to buy this? Tophia obviously wants to sell these t-shirts so she can get a house. She's not earning as much off TikTok and she's terrified that it could go down any day. So to solve that problem, instead of trying to make these Reddit videos that she's always talking about, it's not like she doesn't have all the time in the world to start that. She's like, let me make these low effort t-shirt designs. One of them is just a pink hoodie with a cherry on it. That's it. And the other hoodie is something that only one person in the world would probably buy, and that's Cyrax, the person who wishes he was the Drift King. Because it's just a black shirt with the Chevy on it.
What's for dinner? Cheeto Puffs, that's it for now. Until we go get dinner. I've ate nothing except Cheeto Puffs and some Reese's. I had a headache over there and I was like, it was probably because I didn't eat. But that's okay, we'll eat. Just, you know. They was $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. You know what's funny is that America... 50% of Americans read at a 5th grade reading level. I believe it because some of you guys don't have the skills to comprehend when I put a caption, like I put like words under that post of my new merch. Are people having a hard time reading? Can you not read? I don't know why people are already saying what I said not to say, and it's pissing me off because one person was like, I feel like these designs are stolen. Have you not heard of Canva? That's how people make money through print on demand places, because the same designs that I use, somebody else has probably already used them and they're not copyrighted and they're free to use. Nobody can claim or own those designs because they can't. It's from Canva.
Why is it when Tophiachu mentions eating anymore, it's either fast food or just tons of chips, either pounds of Doritos or pounds of cheese puffs? I know what kind of cheese puffs Tophiachu has. You ever go to your friend's house and they just have a huge thing of cheese puffs just sitting in their room somewhere? I'm not a cheese puff guy. I like Lay's Originals and Sun Chips are where it's at. I think Sun Chips are the best, but I'm not touching a cheese puff. But I know that's what her and her family has. It's like, I feel like if you would just spend your money just to, you know, a tad more responsibly, you could be eating better than just scarfing down handfuls of cheese puffs. Just imagine Tophiachu just huddled in the corner of the Chumobile, just shoving cheese puffs in her mouth while Mama Chu's in the background. Tophia, can I please have some? Ah, Tophia, not again. You ate them all. Poor Mama Chu, she can never catch a break. And when it comes to the USA's reading level, yeah, Tophiachu, we all went to school, every single one of us, and all of us were like kind of shocked with how bad most people read. It's a little bit shocking once you discover it, but then you accept it for what it is. But I'm gonna tell you guys, there's not a single problem with anyone's reading level. They read that just fine. Tophiachu, we went on about this earlier. People just mess with you, so they get these reactions. You say, I don't want people to mention that in my live. Well, what is people gonna do, like, instantly? They're gonna get on your live and say that to you. They've been waiting on this all day as soon as you mentioned it. It's just inevitable at this point. See what I was talking about, guys? How is she gonna tell people, like, hey, don't bring up those teenagers? Like, of course, don't bring up the teenagers, whatever you do, people. But Tophiachu's like, hey, don't do it because they just want clout. They just want attention. They're just trolling. What are you guys, idiots? But then here's Tophiachu just falling for the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
Ground and change the colors of the text to a different color. And I have more shirts that I added stuff to it. It's called adding elements to a design and making a design out of it. Wow, people do not know how to use Canva, and clearly they don't understand. This is how people make money with print on demand. I just left the prices the way they were for the hoodies because I don't know, the prices differ between sizes and I don't understand. I wanted to make everything one size. I've never seen, like, it's so crazy to literally sit here. Like, I literally have seen with my own eyes 2 different shops selling the same design. Be for real. Like, and then someone said, what was it, that they've seen people use designs from Alibaba or something, and that people pick and choose, which I'm not mentioning usernames, but people pick and choose who they want to hold accountable or, go after. And I'm like, exactly. Let me make my money. They good designs, okay? And if I like the designs, I'm going to use them. I go out to car meets. I like the cars. That's why I made that drift racing shirt. Like, because I like cars, okay? I want to fix up a car. I want to have a nice house. Go home, sit on the couch, relax, drive, go somewhere, go shopping, pay my bills. That's the kind of life I want. I don't want a life where I'm stuck to a 9-to-5 job. Let me make my money how I want to make my money. Those designs are fire. The only design that is not from Canva is the tic-tac-toe design. That came directly from Printify.
Your boy is back! Yes!
Going to stress myself out trying to draw every single thing or design every single thing digitally because I don't have to draw it. I could just do like a digital render, or what is it, like a sketch or something. Why do I have to stress myself out when there is Canva and there's all of these tools and utensils that I can use to make merch? Why do I have to exert myself, especially because if it's free and if it's copyrighted? Hell yeah, like, common sense. If I worry about myself, the customer is always right. I'm going to go to work and I'm going to look someone in the face and say, bitch, because I'm going to go work for someone only to tell the customer, bitch, because if they start with me or they film me, I'm going to lose my job either way because someone's going to report my job or whatever. I'm not going to be nice to people. That's why I can't work anywhere, because people don't know how to leave people the fuck alone. You're so concerned with me that your ass hasn't even washed your butt, okay? You guys need to take a dirty ass bath and wash yourself properly before you even talk to people. You don't even brush your teeth in the morning before you start talking shit about me. Oh, Reddit jobless, but you're going to read Reddit stories. People that write Reddit stories about weddings that they went to, they have jobs too, you know that? But people that have a hate Reddit don't have a job. They sit there scratching their, okay? They scratch their and sniff it all day because they're too busy on Reddit, you know, really like stalking people. Like today, when I got up to go somewhere and someone took a video, like I didn't know who was sitting at the table there. And the next time that I see them, because they probably frequent the library, I'm going to tell the manager that they are me, you know, because they can't stop them from recording. It's public property. But I'm going to say that I'm being by that person. And you try to be secretive, like I don't pay attention to who's sitting where. Because, yeah, you thought you was slick filming me and that I wasn't going to know, and you gave it to the Reddit for what? They're jobless. But yeah, you want to talk about how I'm jobless. Oh, okay. I don't sit in a Reddit all day and type and talk about people. I get paid to talk about whatever the I want.
Mind you guys, those t-shirts were fire. Tophiachu put her heart and soul into them. Can't you hear the passion in her voice when she's like, everyone can use it. I mean, I barely tried at all. When she slapped that cherry onto that pink hoodie, she knew it was gonna make waves. Get out of the way, Gucci. Who the heck is Abercrombie and Finch? It's the Chu crew. That's gonna be the line all of the kids are gonna be wearing here soon. Brother Chu isn't gonna have to go up to the Bluey voice actors and the Dora Explorer voice actors to get their autographs, because people are going to be coming up to them for their autograph, even though I think that probably already happens. I don't know why people would get so close, but we know how the TikTok crowd treated Daniel Larson, and I wouldn't get near him at all, but everyone wanted to buddy up against him for some reason, so I couldn't imagine it being too different with Tophiachu, and especially once she becomes the drift queen. Can you believe it, guys? It's like full circle. Every Lolcow just bleeds into the other ones eventually. Like, out of all the things Tophiachu could find an interest in, it's drift racing. Like, yes, this is perfect. I mean, Nova, just step out of the way. Tophiachu's got a new Lolcow, man, Cyrax. We always debated, is it Nova or is it Cyrax? And Nova doesn't have a car. I mean, Cyrax doesn't either, but can Nova drift around those Forza Horizon tracks like that? No, not at all. And neither can Cyrax, but you know, I'm just going to imagine that Cyrax might be better at it than Nova. Maybe they got to prove it to one another. Who's the supreme peasant drifter? And the winner, they don't get much of a prize, but they get to take home Tophiachu. And she goes home with Cyrax. Well, Sally can finally bathe her, delouse her, wash away her past. She goes home with Nova, they can maybe buy a trucker shower if Nova could just get a dang job. But I'm not sure Cyrax or Nova know what they're technically winning, because with that kind of attitude Tophiachu is showing, I don't think either one of them can handle it. They're both mama boys and babies at the core, especially Nova. Especially Nova. I mean, just listen to her when she's like, alright guys, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If I was to go to work, I would just have a terrible attitude. No one would like me. When they walk through the doors, I would just be looking at them with a stank face, just mean mugging them the whole time. And you know that's what she was doing at Dunkin' Donuts. How would a manager instantly dislike you like that? You has probably been rude to her customers. Have you guys ever been around a person who's acting weird to the customers on your shift? Like been mean to them or something? You're like, dude, you know I gotta deal with them too. You're like making my job worse. That's probably what was going on at Dunkin' Donuts. And Tophia, another thing about managers, they tend to take their employees back since, you know, they work in the same building together. They tend to become friends over time. So they tend to side with you over just random people. So if a bunch of people showed up and was like, Tophiachu did this, that, and the third, the manager would just bar them most likely. And you do know you don't have to work in fast food or expose where you work at all. You could get a minimum wage job just been closed off from people. You work in New Mexico, so I'm not sure about the job scene there, but I'd imagine there's some. And to whoever it is recording Tophiachu on the sly in the library, just know your days are numbered, because Tophiachu is going to find you. You can't stop her now, dude. You're done for, because we call it the Chumobile as a joke, but little did we know, Tophiachu is the Batwoman of New Mexico. She's got eyes in the back of her head. You thought when she walked in she didn't realize you was there? Bro, she's got detective vision on, dummy. She's seen right through you. She's seen your trollish natures right down to your very core. She knew what was up. That's why she made it so funny when she was walking by. Tophiachu is a natural comedian.
But you're literally there, and you're caught on camera too. If I was to report to them that I was being and to see on the cameras, they'll look on the cameras and find out who took that photo, and I'm gonna let them know that you're dumb. Because even when that guy pulled up in the parking lot and asked for a photo, I said sure, because I'm not rude. The security guard made sure they weren't harassing me because he's nice, and he was talking to my brother, and then my brother explained some interactions are nice and some aren't. I know exactly who you are. Like, you're not inconspicuous. We come back, right? We open the door to the car because I had to help my brother with this car. There was a whole guy in the car sleeping, and was like, we opened the car door, and this guy is just like, he got right out of the car, this homeless guy. And because my brother opened the door and said, what the hell are you doing in my car? And he said, oh, I'm sorry, my bad, bro. I was cold. I was like, first of all, you don't get in an abandoned car and say I was cold. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, these people could seriously get hurt. So then what happened was that my brother was doing something in the car, and he noticed, because we had like cans of Vienna weenies because my mom eats those sometimes. And this dude had eaten our cans of Vienna weenies and left them in the car. And he was like, nasty, because that's what my brother said, because the dude was eating in the car, helping himself, and sleeping in the car. I'm like, what the bro? We come back, and this is what we come back to? You're in someone's car, sleeping in it, saying you was cold? Bro, if you're cold, then go get a car yourself. And I was going to say go get a job, but I understand it's hard for homeless people to get a job. So I'm not going to tell someone go get a job. But it's so crazy. Someone works hard for their stuff, especially their cars. And you just think, oh, I'm going to camp in it because it's abandoned. Now I claimed it as mine. That's not how it works. You know? Like, that is so stupid. The water off a lot. And even the pest control said that we had to have our apartment bombed in order to get rid of all the roaches. The office refused against it because they said if we do that, the other tenants or the other people that live in the apartments are gonna have to leave for an hour or two because all the vents are connected. I'm like, bro, we need to get rid of this pest problem. We had so much roaches, it's not even crazy, and it has nothing to do with us. Neighbors, especially that one neighbor, would leave their trash outside. You left a garbage bag full of trash outside your front door. One of the neighbors had their kids were throwing food and milk and stuff they got from school out, like, right under the stairs. Like, you've got your kids throwing this stuff, and we're getting roaches. Like, you cannot have stuff like that, especially garbage. No, they didn't crawl in my hair, but we did have... So I didn't have roaches in my bed. Yes, I know they crawl all over my stuff, but we had the bug man come once every 2 months, I believe it was, on a Wednesday. So I didn't see the roaches until after we were leaving. I was getting my epoxy, my resin bottles, and I pulled them out of this box, and there was a whole pile of roaches in there. And I'm like, bro. And I saw this after I was leaving. Mind you, we saw a few roaches here and there because, oh, I'm lying? Go to the reviews of my old place and read them. If I'm lying, go read the reviews, because the reviews are nothing but people that live there that say there's a roach problem. I'm not the only person who has this problem.
Okay, guys, I guess Tophiachu isn't superhuman. She doesn't have eyes in the back of her head because she had no idea who it was. It was just like a threat. Like, hey, don't you do that again, person, because I definitely know who you are. I mean, not really, but I can pull the cameras up because I'm super tight with the library crowd. Every time I go in there, I tell them all of my problems and they feel so sorry for me. And you would probably too if you wouldn't just keep taking snapshots of me. Come and talk, sit and chat for a little bit. Me and Mama Chu were very lonely. Just please come and talk to us. Even the security guard who's got the unfortunate job of having to talk to Brother Chu all day because he's paid to be there. She's like, and we're really cool with this guy. We're homies. So he'll find you too. Don't you mess around with us. I'm not playing games with you people anymore. Please stop. Tophiachu is always talking about how she wants to make some brand new kind of content. And she always says like, you know, I guess I could do like the homeless life. That could be interesting. And yeah, it definitely could be interesting. Like Tophiachu, do you know how much we would all love if you was live just coming home from the library and open your car and there's just a random stranger in there? I mean, the interaction seemed mildly chill between the two, but that is just absolutely crazy. You know, one time I was working with the public and a homeless dude came in there and he was telling me a story about the night before. The night before there was a huge snowstorm. I think it was in the negatives. So this guy proceeds to tell me that he was walking down the road just pulling on car handles to see which one would open so he could just sit in there all night. And he finally found one and he was just chilling, found some cigarettes and some spare pocket change, and he was like, yeah, you think she would be cool with that? Matter of fact, I was walking down the road, you know, later on, and I seen some cops at that very same car taking a report on it. And you know me, I was like, yeah, it's not my car. But I would have been absolutely furious. I don't know what I would have done if I would have caught you in my car just smoking my cigs and wandering through my change. Like, yeah, I would be terribly mad. Like, that's an underestimate, but you know, YouTube and stuff. And then there's Tophiachu, like, hey, you, get out of my car. The guy's like, oh man, I just thought I was cold. She's like, how could you do that? It's like, Tophiachu, you might be doing the same thing here soon. The moral of my story is, yeah, people will do that to you. It just so happens that you guys are also homeless, so it's just like, it's just another one doing it to another one. It's a terrible world we live in, but that's the way it is. Could you guys imagine if she just opened the door and Papachu sprung out of there like, where have you guys been? I've been waiting on you for years. Don't you guys know I got millions of dollars? What are you waiting on? Now drive me to the bank, Brother Chu. I'm sick of waiting on you guys. Have me waiting for a year. Who do you think you are? We're the Chu crew. I'm the head of this family. But unfortunately, it wasn't Papa Chu. It was just some guy who ate all of Mama Chu's Vienna sausages. Like, out of all the Chus, how is it Mama Chu catching all of the heat every single time? When something goes wrong, it's Mama Chu's fault. When Tophiachu gets the family kicked out of the house, well, Mama Chu's right along with them. And when the cars are getting stolen because Brother Chu and Tophia just can't think to lock them, well, there's Mama Chu just out another car and one step closer to been out on the streets. You know, it's not looking good. And when a homeless guy breaks into their car, he eats all of Mama Chu's food. Even Tophia's like, yeah, I mean, it's not cool, but it's not the worst. I don't eat those. I don't really care. And what makes this even better, when Tophiachu starts getting mad, she really thinks about the guy just sitting in her car, eating all of her food. She's like, and you know what? That guy needs to get a job. Well, he doesn't need to get a job because it can be hard out here, but he should really consider it. She was about to say everything that people say to her, but she was like, no, Tophia, don't project. Do not project, even though she feels the same exact way. And when it comes to that roach story, I've never had to fumigate for roaches, and I've never been into any kind of bug control job in my life, so I don't technically know how it works. But I would imagine that if the entire apartment complex had a roach problem, right? They wouldn't mind if the fumes are spreading vent to vent to vent. I think that would be the goal, so it clears out everything. You know, cockroaches get everywhere and anywhere. So wouldn't they be in the vents? Wouldn't that be like a place you would want them to go and just have everyone step out for a little bit? I mean, that sounds kind of hard to do, just get everyone to uproot for a little bit. But I mean, if that's what's got to happen, then that's what's got to happen. But when Tophiachu says, well, the fumes can't spread, it makes me think that you're the main problem. And then she's like, well, then there was also this guy who was throwing tons of trash out in our front yard, so maybe the roaches were coming from there, but it's not our fault. It was this other guy's. And what would you do in that situation? Well, You get Papa Chu and Brother Chu to go talk to him and say, hey, stop throwing trash in our front yard. Or you do it the other way. You could have the law do it. But one way or the other, you could get this guy to stop throwing trash on your yard. It's just another way that Tophiachu is incredibly lazy. Whenever Tophiachu is met with any kind of resistance, she's just like, okay, that's it. I will give in right now. You win, sir. Have a good day. Like, she does not challenge anything at all.
So then my dad got mad because I was on live, and people know that because that live stream, I had to leave my live. I had to leave my live to go and literally lug all these boxes in because my dad said, bring all these boxes. And I said, no, it's a prank. And he yelled at me to bring the boxes in and then started using them. And my mom told him to stop using the boxes, that it's already looking cluttered. Like, my dad has mental illness, so everything to him can be used. He was laying them on the ground. He had boxes taped up on the wall. Like, there were boxes everywhere. It wasn't like it was trash, but there was boxes. So we had to just let him use the boxes like that. Because obviously, you know, that's what happened. So then, because of that, you know, that's where we were. And all those boxes were used. So, you know, they want to pretend like they didn't know. Because I think he knew. He's just pretending he doesn't know. You knew. Like, I'm supposed to get tired of people not listening to me, and then they want to be like, oh, well, you know, it's like the whole Heffa situation with her not paying her workers. And then, like, after, you know, and then now everyone wants to be like, oh my God, her kids don't have beds. Like, I was saying this and no one want to listen. Like, what I said about Jasmine talking about essaying her grandpa and her cousin. No one want to listen. You guys just want to continue to make your money and ignore it. Like, that's a problem. That's an issue. Now that you've got problems with Jasmine, you want to talk about it. No, you should have talked about it a long time ago. Obviously, you don't care. You only care because you have issues with them now. That's a huge problem. Like, I have one other thing I'm going to add as a hoodie, but thank you if you guys do get anything. And it was like, so it just said, so it was like, oh, this, I believe this is stolen. Like, I'm not even going to argue or explain to you about the design. Like, I paid for Pro. I literally have been paying for Pro to make t-shirt designs. So, yeah. So I could remove, like, it makes a transparent background, so I could remove the background. That way it doesn't have, like, that white square. Because you know how some places, when you make t-shirt designs, it has a background. So I removed the background. So that way, you know, it doesn't have that on the shirts. I literally pay for Pro, and those designs can be used by anybody, and you can sell and make designs. So, yeah, thank you. I will never understand why y'all be sitting here gifting this lady, giving her money to help her buy her kids furniture when she's literally out here not, like, buying Louis Vuitton bags and BMWs. And let's be honest, people said, well, you went to Comic-Con. I put all my expenses and money went into cars to fix these cars to get them running. And on top of that, like I said, we had some issues with one car when I went shopping at, I went shopping to the mall, and I came back and the car was gone. It was towed. And then, you know, I had to do all of these other things that requires money, like pay bills and that. Like, literally saying, why are you still living out of a car? Like, I got bills I gotta pay, right? But it is so crazy to me how people will say it's my fault. Like, I'm not doing it. Well, you went to come. Like, I literally put money into bills and the tows and getting the cars fixed and putting gas and all of this stuff that requires, you know, having a car, because the car takes more gas than what is needed because we're living out of it. But this lady, all her money goes to BMWs and Louis Vuitton weekender bags. She's carrying big old duffel bags around. A big old Louis Vuitton duffel bag. That's a whole joke. Talking about her kids ain't got beds. And it's just, like, so crazy because she really doesn't take care of her kids, nor should she have a roof over her head. They got their grandparents' house to stay at. But why does she get to live comfortably and buy all of these fast food and eat out and do all of this and get a BMW and have all of this? But yet there's people I see on live that work hard for their families, that literally have a job but don't make enough and entertain people on lives. Like, they had 2 jobs and one of the jobs didn't pay enough and they weren't getting called in to work, so they quit because they wasn't making money at that job. So then they have another job that they do, and on top of that they hold panels and entertain people on their lives.
I'm just imagining this box story in my head. Like, Tophiachu gets tons of boxes outside of her doorstep, and she's like, I'm just gonna let the rain just let it rot away. And Papachu's like, no. We're not gonna let these boxes go to waste, Tophiachu. I'm very busy right now. I'm hanging tons of green crosses throughout the house. Go get them. She's like, no. He's like, go get those boxes. Got green crosses to hang. Important stuff, Tophia. And after she goes back to her live, after dragging all of those boxes back in, you just see Papachu just sitting on his throne of boxes. He's now the box king. He's a gazillionaire box king now. No one's gonna step in his path. What do you think you are, the government? Not on Papachu's watch. He's the box king. You can't stop him now. Where are we going to put our garbage? In boxes. Where are we going to store our food? In boxes. The best place ever. Papachu is just straight living in his own imagination land. What's with this new thing and Tophiachu just wanting to be right about everything and anything? Has Brother Chu finally told her that just buying a transmission doesn't make her part owner of the car and that she really doesn't do that much? It must have really got to her, because now she's like, hey, you guys, that you're talking trash about Ash Trevino, even though people were talking tons of trash about Ash Trevino the entire time. She's like, hey, you should have listened to me. I told you guys she was a bad person, but now look at you. She's got tons of money and rich. You could have gave it to me. It's like, Tophia, everyone was hating on Ash for a while. Like, she just came out of nowhere, a rising Lolcow to the moon. No one seen it coming. Like, I don't even think Ash Trevino could have predicted this, but it happened, and now she's getting a little bit more backlash than she's used to, and she doesn't even care. Ash Trevino does not care about the backlash the way Tophiachu does. If Tophiachu just handled it like her, she'd probably have some more success in this world, but no, Tophiachu is going to crash out over anything and everything, and I've got to say, Tophiachu, you have not changed anyone's opinion. No one cares what you have to say about Ash Trevino, but go ahead and keep talking about her. They just view it as hypocritical from you because they see Ash Trevino as the more successful version of you. That's just it, plain and simple. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like. If you haven't already, subscribe, follow the socials down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.